You look at that, and I don't know, any police officers that have looked at that and didn't say, I hope I never find myself in that situation. And that's really where the whole discussion is. Yeah, don't put yourself in that situation. I think, as I know, a lot of training officers have looked at that and they shudder a little bit when they think, and I know that a lot of the debate, the public debate, was the officer telling the truth about what happened? Was he really pulling a gun on? We don't know that, and I certainly wouldn't pass judgment on that. But just for the sake of argument, if you take everything that happened, everything that the officer said he did, and what was going on in his mind at the time, where he had this heightened concern because he felt this person matched the description of an armed robbery suspect. The person said he had a gun, he had a firearm. That just ramped up that concern, and ultimately say we don't know what happened in that car, but we do know that Philando Castille was killed as a result. The question that I think from law enforcement, and as whether they're police chiefs, supervisors, training officers, or police officers looking at is, how could that be avoided? And if that was the case, why are you standing in front of this guy that you think is armed? And would not 2 steps back, where if there was a gun in there, you're not in that danger zone of where a person would have to lean out the car to actually use a firearm. Of course, you get a lot of time to react to that. Well, we try to, and especially in situations like that where there's a heightened sense of danger or concern, cover's never a bad thing. And backing up and not putting yourself in that situation, never a bad thing. And those are really the things that, given the debate about whether this was reasonable, it was not reasonable, how do we define that, what's the legal standard, how are officers held accountable, etc. There's a much larger picture there. We need to get out of that paradigm of focusing on an officer and saying, was this reasonable or not in that officer's mind, to compared to whether or not that's unavoidable from the department's perspective. How do we make the deadly use of force not just reasonable in the courtroom context, but unavoidable from the standpoint of, regardless of what your feelings are about this case, about this incident, hopefully we can agree that's a tragedy, and we need to do everything we can to prevent tragedy, to make them, the deadly use of force, unavoidable.